My name is Eliza. And if I had just walked past that girl in the pharmacy that day, if I had minded my business like everyone else, I wouldn't be standing here now, staring at my mother, who's holding the same exact medicine I bought for a stranger. But let me take you back to the moment it all started. It was raining, the kind of cold, stabbing rain that soaks through your skin and makes your bones ache. I'd just stopped at the drugstore for some cold medicine when I saw her. A girl about my age, maybe younger, standing at the counter with shaking hands. "I just need this. Please. My mom's sick," she whispered to the pharmacist. He shook his head, firm but polite. "I'm sorry, miss. You're $38 short." She clutched the prescription bottle like it was life itself. Eyes red. Face pale. And everyone just kept walking. But something in me froze. That bottle, its label, its bright red cap, I'd seen it before. And without thinking, I stepped forward, reached into my purse, and handed over my card. "Put it on me," I said. The girl turned slowly. Her eyes widened, grateful, yet hesitant. "Why?" she asked. I shrugged. "Because if it were my mom, I'd hope someone would do the same." She gave me a faint smile. "Thank you. Really. You have no idea." Then she vanished out the door into the storm. I thought that was the end of it. Just a random act of kindness. A good deed. But when I got home, soaked and tired, I found my mother standing in the kitchen. She was holding the same exact prescription bottle. And when she saw me, her hand trembled. "Eliza," she whispered, "where did you get this?" My blood ran cold. Because that wasn't her usual tone. That was fear. Real fear. And suddenly, I knew that girl wasn't just a stranger. She was a warning. And I'd just opened a door I wasn't supposed to. The room went still. The sound of the rain pounding on the windows faded beneath the weight of her question. My mother's eyes locked onto mine, sharp with confusion, and something darker. I didn't get it," I stammered. "I mean, I paid for it, but it wasn't yours. It was for a girl. At the pharmacy." She took a shaky step forward, her eyes now scanning the label on the bottle, then flicking back up to me. "What girl?" she demanded. I'd never heard that edge in her voice before. It wasn't anger. It was fear, laced with urgency. Panic even. "I don't know her," I said slowly. "She said it was for her mom. She didn't have enough money. I just helped." Mom looked like she might faint. She reached out, gripping the counter to steady herself. "Eliza," her voice dropped to a whisper. "Do you remember the name on the prescription?" "No," I admitted, shaking my head. "But, wait. It had a weird last name. It started with a V. Vandy, something?" Her face went pale. "Vandewen," she breathed. A chill raced up my spine. "Yeah. That sounds like it. You know her?" She didn't answer. Instead, she slowly placed the bottle down on the counter like it might explode. Her fingers lingered on it for a second, trembling. "I need to make a call," she muttered. "To who?" She didn't look at me. Just picked up her phone and walked into the hallway. The door clicked shut. But even through the wall, I could hear the first words she said. "She's found her." My heart stopped. I wasn't supposed to hear that. I wasn't supposed to know anything. Who was she? And more importantly, who had I just helped? I didn't sleep. All night, I kept replaying her voice in my head. She's found her. Not, she helped someone. Not, thank God. But she's found her. Who was she? And who was her? By morning, my mom was acting like nothing had happened. Eggs. Toast. Coffee. Her hands moved like clockwork, but I could see it in her eyes. The storm was still raging behind them. I needed answers. So when she left the house later, clutching her phone and her keys like her life depended on it, I followed. From a distance. Quiet. Careful. She drove across town, not to the hospital or to the pharmacy, but to an old neighborhood near the edge of the city. I hadn't been here in years. The houses were aged. Quiet. Forgotten. She parked in front of a rundown duplex with faded green shutters and a crooked porch. I watched from across the street, hidden behind a delivery van. Then I saw her step out. The girl from the pharmacy. Same messy hair. Same nervous glance over her shoulder. She wasn't alone. A woman, older, frilier, stood behind her, leaning against the doorframe. Oxygen tank. Sunken cheeks. Her mother, I assumed. But then my mom walked up to her. And what happened next made my breath catch in my throat. The girl didn't greet her like a stranger. She hugged her. Tightly. Like family. And then my mother said the name again. Loud enough for me to hear. Iris. I froze. I knew that name. Because I'd seen it before. On the back of an old photo in a locked box in the attic. It was dated 2001. The year my baby sister died. Only now. I wasn't so sure she had. Because the girl I helped at the pharmacy? She might be my sister. I didn't go home. Not yet. I drove to my aunt's house. The one person who never sugarcoated anything, especially when it came to my mom. She opened the door, startled to see me. Eliza? I need the truth, I said, walking past her before I could change my mind. About 2001. About Iris. Her face blanched. She didn't ask how I knew the name. She just sat down. Your mother swore she'd take it to her grave, Aunt Maggie whispered. But you deserve to know. She disappeared into the back room and returned with a worn, dust-covered box. When she opened it, I saw photos of my mom, pregnant, of 2 bassinets, and then 1 birth certificate. 2 names. Eliza Jane Holloway. And beneath it, Iris June Holloway. She was your twin, Aunt Maggie said, her voice cracking. You were both born early. Very sick. Doctors said Iris might not make it. And then? She swallowed hard. One night, your father got a call. A nurse. She said Iris had passed. They never let your mother see the body. No funeral. No questions. I blinked. But why would they do that? Because your mother had enemies. People she used to work for. People who didn't like that she left. My breath caught. What kind of people? She hesitated. The kind who run foundations and programs, but behind closed doors, they were selling infants to couples overseas. The rich ones. The desperate ones. I felt like I was going to be sick. She found out too much, Aunt Maggie continued. So they took something from her. She thought Iris died, I whispered. But she was stolen. Maggie nodded. And she's been trying to find her ever since. Quietly. Carefully. Some said she was crazy. Obsessed. But I knew the truth. She never stopped searching. Everything inside me twisted. The girl at the pharmacy. The hug on that porch. The same bottle in my mother's hand. Iris had been out there, living another life, thinking she belonged somewhere else. Until now. I stood at the edge of the porch, heart pounding so hard I could barely breathe. I hadn't planned to confront them. But now that I knew, now that I remembered the way Iris looked at me in the pharmacy, like I was familiar, I couldn't walk away. I knocked once. My mother opened the door. Her eyes widened. Eliza. I know, I said softly. I know everything. She didn't deny it. Didn't deflect. She simply stepped aside. Come in. Inside, the house was dim, quiet. Iris stood near the window, arms folded. She didn't look surprised to see me. Iris, I said, the name strange but natural on my tongue. You're my sister. She nodded. I know. I blinked. You do? She sat slowly, her expression unreadable. I found out 6 months ago. A nurse at the orphanage kept a journal. Hidden behind an old filing cabinet. She wrote down everything she saw, including names. She glanced at my mother. And one day, I found hers. My mom's lips trembled. I tried to get you back. I swear I did. But they told me you were gone. I even hired investigators. Iris's face softened. I believe you. For a moment, silence stretched between us, sisters who had lived parallel lives, torn apart by something larger than any of us. Then Iris said something I didn't expect. There's something else. Something I have to tell you both. We turned to her. That medicine you paid for, Eliza, it wasn't for my mom. I blinked. What do you mean? She reached into her coat and pulled out a second bottle. Identical. It's for me, she said, voice quiet. I have a genetic condition. One that runs in your family. Our family. Mom sat down like her knees gave out. What condition? Iris looked at her. It's not deadly. Not yet. But it can be, if untreated. I've known for a while. I didn't say anything because I didn't want you to pity me. But that bottle, I whispered. The one I paid for. Was the last dose I could afford, Iris said. I was going to walk away without it. But you stopped me. My hands trembled. I didn't even know you. You felt something, she said gently. So did I. Tears welled in my eyes. I almost lost you twice. But you didn't, Iris whispered. Mom wrapped her arms around both of us. Not this time. Never again. That day, a stranger became my sister. A lie unraveled. And a family, broken for decades, finally began to heal. But I'll never forget that moment at the pharmacy. When kindness didn't just save a stranger. It brought my sister home.